Mr. Rudra Chatterjee, Mr. Sushil Mishra,
And Mr. Amrish Das.
Professor Partho Chakraborty. Oh, you're here already. Welcome. I'm Amrish Das Gupta. So please
কেমন আছো?
join us on stage so we can begin.
তুমি এখন প্রেজেন্ট?
Thank you very much. Hello. Right. This is the start of something very new and exciting for the city of Kolkata. The festival Valley of Words, which is now 5 years old in Dehradun, has come to the City of Joy. We're calling this version the Joy of Words. And the Valley of Words in the City of Joy plan to start a journey together, which we hope will continue to be as exciting as this one. This is the inauguration of a two-day festival, which will run the whole of today and tomorrow. And I hope that all of you who are here today will enjoy every minute of it. Before we go any further, may I please invite Mr. Ambarish Das Gupta, President of Bengal Club, who is a partner in this festival, to say a few words of welcome. Sir,
Thank you.
you can speak. We will be presenting a token of respect and appreciation. I think you are supposed to sit where you are, sir. You have a mic. So are we doing the Uttariyas? Very lovely. Thank you. No, we need another mic. These beautiful Uttariyas, which are done with the Katha stitch, which is famous in Calcutta, famous in Bengal. Thank you for the Uttariyas. Sir, would you prefer to speak from here? Just a minute, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. জগতের আনন্দযজ্ঞে আমার নিমন্ত্রণ. I am really humbled by this invitation by Valley of Words extended to me for speaking in the inaugural session. Though I believe that in Bengal we really need not do any particular inauguration of a literary event, because Bengal has always been embracing a continuous perennial flow of literary and creative thoughts. We really need not have any specific inauguration for that. Bengal, of course, has been very much embracing creativity, any kinds of expression, any thoughts, any thoughts that can uplift us from our daily drudgeries. Possibly this is the asset we have valued more, the intellectual asset, than any other assets of any form, because we felt that this is the only asset that does not depreciate, only keep on appreciating. Bengal Club, that way also for the members, being a part of Bengal, have always been trying to get a forum, give a forum to the members where they can come, ideate, exchange their thoughts, and can bring a much more completeness to their soul and personality. And when Mr. Sanjeev Chopra, with whom I was professionally acquainted, when as a successful bureaucrat, he took such an interest in Valley of Words, I was really intrigued. And I started following the activities of the Valley of Words for the last 4 or 5 years. And his WhatsApp messages, when it comes to me, I think that brings a little whip of freshness from the daily work that we're in. And when that WhatsApp with a ping hits the machine, I always get into that, and that really lifts for a temporarily though, momentarily though, it takes me out of that entire boring world that we may always be subjected to. I'm really glad that Valley of Words and Bengal Club could really come together to bring such a liberating event for our souls and for our minds. And I hope that during the day, I welcome all of you, all the audience to this event, all the respected speakers, all the organizers. And I really hope that during the day you get really basked and immersed in such literary creativity and really get yourself soul completely filled up. Thank you very much.
you. How true.
Well,
There can
thank
be
you
no
very
knowledge.
much.
It's a continuation.
So I think your mask has been left here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not at all. These are our new realities, these masks that we can't do without. Well, thank you very much for that and for reminding us very appositely how much literature and literary festivals are interwoven with the cultural and emotional and, I would say, spiritual life of this city. I am Anjum Katyal. I am co-director of the festival. I am delighted to welcome along with my co-director, Mr. Sanjeev Chopra, all of you again. VoW Kolkata is going to be presenting over this weekend a program which has been curated specially around the shortlist of the VoW Book Awards. And this particular section of the shortlist is the English language fiction and non-fiction, along with sessions which have authors also shortlisted in other categories like Hindi, fiction and translation, who are based in the city. So in some ways, I would say, can you not hear me? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, really.
Yeah? Great. If I do that again, please alert me. Yes, so I was saying that the festival has been curated around the shortlist of books. So it's been a really interesting experience and challenge to put the ideas and thoughts of these authors and these books together with the best people in Calcutta to discuss and address these issues. And it's a real pleasure. I hope that you end up enjoying the sessions as much as I do. I'd like to now invite my co-director, Sri Sanjeev Chopra, who is the overall festival director of Valley of Words, Dehradun, to say a few words and to take over.
Thank you, Anju. Thank you so much, Anju, for your kind words. And as Ambrish set the tone, I mean, you don't need to inaugurate anything, especially literature in Kolkata. It's always been a city of joy. It's always been a city of celebrations. And I remember from the first time that I first came to Bengal in 1982 when I was the journalist for the Times of India, and there was a conference of the Amnesty International at St. Xavier's College. So that's the time since I've been associated formally, in a sense, professionally with Bengal. And it's been a very enriching experience. It's been absolutely wonderful to spend time here in Darjeeling district, in Murshidabad, Calcutta, Purulia, Khatal, IIT Kharagpur, where we used to, was then part of Midnapur. So I'm very glad that all of us are here today. My very special thanks to Rudra Chatterjee, Ambrish, Mr. Tiwari, and Partha Chatterjee, Partha Chakravarti, Mr. Mishra. I said Sushilji. Friends, I see some of our authors here. Mr. Vinod is here, Mr. Maitra is here, Mr. Mukherjee, of course, Anjuman, and many friends and colleagues. You see, we've been doing this Festival of Words, Festival of Letters, and let me emphasize it's literature and the arts. Pre-COVID, actually life can only be defined how life before COVID and life after COVID. So before COVID, the concept of a festival was that you have a big venue, about 10, 15,000 people come and go. There is something happening here, something happening there. But COVID has changed all of us, and we've had to change with COVID. Good things about COVID are that it's changed the dimension of time and space. So from last year, most festivals have turned phygital. I mean, those who have managed to survive, have had to become phygital in the sense that it is both a physical event and a digital event. So as we are speaking, we are being recorded, and we are being, the whole thing is going to be aired as well. But what happened last year was that we've had to change the format, and I think many literature festivals have had to change the format because you can no longer have very, very big events. You can't have events with 10,000, 15,000 people. So that thing has changed. But what has taken its form is a more focused and a more organized way of looking at things. And that is why we at the Valley of Words thought that when we have so many knowledge verticals, why don't we spread our verticals across the country, which will mean that every city can have a very specific set of discussions And the other thing which I was just discussing with Vinod earlier, one of our authors, that, typically in a festival, we have so many sessions that there's always that conflict on whether you go to session A or to session B. So in our format now, there's just one session that's happening and we have a select audience. And our one difference that I would always like to do in the Value of Words is that we want people to have read the book, people to be critically reading and enjoying the conversation, because it's not about the number of people who come. It's about the quality of people who come, and more than that is the quality of cerebral discussions, which makes a lot of difference. And for that reason, I think Bengal Club is the perfect venue, because here in this forum, we've had many cerebral discussions, from environment to sustainable development goals to a whole set of things, and therefore I'm very glad that the Bengal Club immediately decided to play host to us, and so I'm very grateful to Bengal Club, especially the chairman, Amrish Das Gupta. I'm very happy that Rudro, my friend, also my friend's son-in-law, so we have a double relationship. And it's so nice to see the next generation grow up. It's so nice to see the next generation not only stepping into, but, stepping ahead. And so I'm very happy that Rudro is here with us today. And he brings with him a lot of fresh thought. He's just come back from Oxford. He's looking at design, the various aspects of artifacts and design. Today is a very great day for us because Mr. Partho Chakravarti is here with us. And I must tell you something about the partnership with the National Digital Library of India and the Value of Words has. Because the new form of learning will be digital. That's the way it is. That does not mean that the written word will go. The written word will in fact become stronger because of the digital word. So there's no contradiction between the written word and the digital word. I think the digital is actually going to enhance the spread of the written word. And for that, we have my young colleague here, Ashutosh Shah. Come here, Ashutosh. Ashutosh is the young man who's sort of tied up a lot of things. Let's give him a big round of applause, because he's based out of IIT Kharagpur and he connected the Value of Words with the NDLI. And together with the NDLI, we have done a lot of work together. And from next year onwards, we'll be celebrating the K.M. Panikkar Reading Month in a very big way. So today is also the celebration of the VoW NDLI partnership. So very soon we'll be signing a little letter of agreement called the Declaration of Understanding. And I'm very honored that Mr. Sushil Mishra is with us today. Mr. Mishra is an educationist, is involved with the health industry, and is setting up a sports academy in Kalna. That is the most remarkable part, because I think, any creative expression has to be celebrated. Whether it's a perfect shot of golf or the perfect sonnet of Shakespeare, there is something beautiful, there is something ecstatic about anything which is perfect. So we celebrate that spirit. And with these few words, now let me invite Mr. Partho from the NDLI to come and speak about the new partnership. I mean, the partnership is there. As Amrish said, it's not something new. It's a continuation of something that we are doing, but we're going to do it more formally today. So over to you. You can speak from there, or you would like to come here. Come. Thank you.
Good morning to all of you. I'm the wrong man in the right place. So,
Why do you say that?
but then when I heard that Ambarisda is going to be here, and then somebody very judiciously placed me with him, so I became even more comfortable. So, Dr. Chopra, first of all, I'm grateful to the Value of Words for inviting me to this literary festival. I just met Sushilji and with Mr. Rudra Chatterjee. I thank all of them for having me on this stage. I am a professor at IIT Kharagpur. I was an administrator, the director of the institute for about 6 years. And in 2014, when the government asked, what can you do for India? So that time, I went with a proposal saying that we want to build an integrated library for India, because we showed them that the cost of building physical libraries is going to be so prohibitive that you will not be able to do that in the next 100 years. So we might as well build a digital platform to bridge the gap while physical libraries and sections are built. And as Dr. Chopra knows very well, it was approved, but the budget was not coming.
That is also very usual for the
Very usual for the government. So I had a strategy. So they told me to build something about 5 lakh books, integrate them in 3 years. So we did that in 4 months. And then I went to the Honorable Minister and I showed her that this is what we have done. We have no money, so I'm going to close it next week. So before next week, the money came. I'm happy to tell you that today, the National Digital Library of India, if you just type Google or you go to any of the app stores, you will get the National Digital Library of India. It has got 7.82 crore indexed material. From KG to lifelong learners, from literature, science, technology, agronomy, and like Devi Durga, all the state boards have given all their school books for free. All NCERT books are available free. From IEEE to everybody else has provided as much as they could for free, so that when the pandemic struck the institution, we reinvented ourselves to become the lifeline of the nation. Which means that people preparing for exams, people preparing for studies, people preparing for competitive exams, including UPSC,
Yes.
have all of them started working with us. But we have realized that unless people have both the left brain and the right brain working, then they do not become an Indian, whatever they may become. So it was one of the most exciting invitations. I had met Dr. Chopra when we went for a government event when he was director of Labasna. But I knew him for a long time because he's from the West Bengal cadre and a very erudite, educated man, not only in literature, but in many other things from agriculture onwards. And when he suggested that we start collaborating regarding value of words, we did that immediately. We have stopped believing in doing an MOU first and then start to work. All that we have stopped believing. So, we now work like today's love marriage. First you do whatever you want and then you decide, okay, let us go and sign what to do. So based on that, we've started having events together. And the National Digital Library is not a normal library. It does not only have books. It has got video lectures. It has got audio books. So all the people who cannot see can read. We have got 5 lakh audio books. We have got software, simulation, data, everything else which the modern world needs. And when we started this interaction, we realized that we have a catchment area of 2,500 National Digital Library clubs in schools, colleges, and various small district and local library centers. And there is a huge set of people who are starved of being connected to literature, to various other modes of knowledge. And the interactions that we have started with the Valley of Words has really been very encouraging for our own people and our. We now want to move on to not only budding So now we want to move over to creativity. We want to make how can we get the children and the other people to create, because most of the literature now is going to be born digital. Even if you have a book, the digital version will still be there. How can we get it translated, which is another joint initiative for all of us. And since I work in the area of artificial intelligence, I'm very keen in seeing whether we can help make a very early translation which can be curated by experts. So how can we move on and work together to create, collaborate, translate, cooperate together? And I must tell you that some of these sessions I have myself sat down and watched for ages. For example, Cardozo session, it was just out of the world, out of the world. So today we are going to sign our marriage registration certificate, and though we have been having an affair for a long time, and I hope that we will create more progeny together. I was a little scared because I also do write a little bit, and I was once thinking that I will have the courage to bring one or two of my writings here. But then I thought it may be too august a gathering. I don't know how informal. We are engineers, Mistri class. So, we have a different way of doing things. So I didn't want to disturb this hallowed. I am really honored, grateful that all of you have joined this session. I request you to spread the message of National Digital Library. I request you to get back to me or to Dr. Chopra or to Katyalji and let us know how we can work with anybody, how we can reach people. I was just talking to Mishra ji saying that, in Nadia district, if there are people, schools, children, how can we get connected with them? Everything is free. No? So I therefore am honored, happy to sign whenever the time comes for the marriage registration certificate, and grateful, honored for being here. Thank you very much. And Amburizda, I'm very happy to be back here again and see you. কোথায় গিয়ে করব?
So I hope all of you are bearing due witness to this marriage and this registration that is happening, and maybe wish them many happy anniversaries together.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Warm round of applause. Thank you. And thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, madam. I'm a stealer of books and pens, so I'll take this pen.
I thought you wouldn't need pens anymore with the NDLI. Thank you so much for giving us that really illuminating, very quick overview of the kind of progressive moves that are being made and the fantastic resources available to every common Indian. And I would like to now invite Mr. Sushil Mishra to please say a few words. Thank you for joining us.
Honorable members present on the dais and the guests before me. It is an honor on the part of mine that I've been invited here and I'm with you at the moment. গীতায় একটা কথা আছে, সেটা হচ্ছে যে আমাদের ইন্দ্রিয়কে রেগুলেট করে আমাদের মন, মনকে রেগুলেট করে আমাদের বুদ্ধি, আর বুদ্ধিকে রেগুলেট করে আমাদের জ্ঞান, নলেজ। অতএব there is no end to the knowledge. নলেজ ছাড়া কোথাও কিছু চলবে না। অমৃতবাবু ঠিক কথা বলেছেন যে বেঙ্গল ইজ এ ট্রেজার অফ নলেজ। আজ থেকে নয়, আমরা যদি লম্বা ইতিহাস দেখি তাহলে দেখা যাবে যে একসময় ডক্টর গোখলেও বলে গেছেন যে হোয়াট বেঙ্গল থিংস টুডে ইন্ডিয়া থিংস টুমরো। সেখান থেকে এটাই ছিল বেঙ্গলের কালচার, এটাই আছে বেঙ্গলের কালচার। এখন তার মধ্যে আজকে সঞ্জয়বাবু যে জিনিসটা নিয়ে এসছেন এখানে, দ্যাট ইজ অ্যান অ্যাড টু আওয়ার নলেজ। আমরা চাইব যে এইরকম মানুষ, এইরকম প্রোগ্রাম মাঝে মাঝে নিয়ে আসুন এখানে। ইট শুড বি অ্যান অ্যাডেড অ্যাডভান্টেজ টু আস so that we can have some sort of books which is normally is not available in the market. I had been seeing the books, and in the today's world, basically we do have the books. At one point of time, we used to have encyclopedia. That was a big and very voluminous book. But today, all those books have become the just glamour of the library, but no one reads that because we go through the Googles. But still, these books are normally not available in the market. So I was trying to find out some of the books so that I can have it with us and I can read that one. So these type of programs, when Shoto, some days before, he came to me and just said that sponsor a small amount. That was not a subject. After coming here, I have realized that these sort of programs should always be here, at least 2, 3, 4 times, so that we can have something new. What Partho has said is absolutely correct. Now it is the world of the digital. So what he has been doing, I would not have known unless I had come here. And we are running a school at Kalna in Bardhaman district, and I've spoken to him, and I will advise my principal to immediately speak to him and to get attached with that particular system. And that will be quite helpful to the students. Not only in our school, my principal is also the head of the principals of the ICSC and ISC board. So I'll also ask him to share this information with the other schools also, other schools or the principals of the other schools, so that at least this digital platform can be used by the students. And at the last, I will say that whatever need is needed from our side, what we can do for these type of programs, we will be always with the people like you, and we'll expect that you should be doing these type of programs in future too also here in Bengal, and we should have this opportunity to be invited again. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Sri Sushil Mishra was chairman of the SKM group, that as you could make out from his brief talk, is very involved with education. Mr. Chopra, would we move on to vote of thanks, or do we do the acknowledgement? Yes,
Yeah.
he is going to speak.
We've acknowledged our sponsors who are here. If Mr. Venkat is here from Green Panel, yes, please. Studio building. Thank you so much. Good morning. Yeah. Oh, Uttariya.
Uttariya, who has them?
Thank you so much.
Would you like to come up here?
आपने एक तो बोल Green Panel has been supporting us for the last 3 years, so very grateful.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be associated with Value of Words and Dr. Sanjeev Chopra. Like you mentioned, we have been associated with this organization for the past 3 years, and we hope that it will be our privilege to be associated for many more years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
One second. Just just come this way.
Thank
Thank you so much.
It's now a pleasure to invite Mr. Rudra Chatterjee, the past president of the Indian Chamber of Commerce, who has been co-presenting partners of this festival, to please say a few words.
On behalf of Indian Chamber of Commerce, thank Mr. Sanjeev Chopra and Ms. Anjum Katyal for having this event here in Kolkata. As the president of Bengal Club, Mr. Ambarish Dasgupta said, that Kolkata does not need an inauguration for literary events, but we are always ready to be lost in a good story, and the beauty of a book is that whether it is on paper or whether it is on digital, if the book is worth reading, that matters only for the first few seconds. After that, like the relationship is with the mind of the reader and the words that is being read. And then you forget whether it was, as Mr. Chopra was mentioning, I've been reading a lot about design of things. And there was this chapter where one described, glasses. And in glasses, for a good wine glass, it should keep you focused on the quality of the wine, not the quality of the glass. And similarly, with the value of words, thanks to the effort that we see from all of you with Mr. Chopra and Ms. Katyal, we have been reintroduced to many new authors. I had a great opportunity to host an event by Mr. Dipankar Aaron a few months ago. And I remember it was journey, yes, about the Buddhist culture. And I remember it was during the second wave of COVID. We were not moving out of our house. I wasn't actually even moving out of that room that I was there. But sitting in that, in front of the computer and hearing about different parts of Tibet and Southeast Asia and everywhere Buddhism spread, and with value of words, with Mr. Chopra talking about it, Mr. Aaron talking about it, you realize that you don't really have to physically move very much today for your mind to expand and learn new things. So it is a great privilege. I'm speaking on behalf of Indian Chamber, and it's a great privilege that Indian Chamber, which is a business chamber, is hosting such a great literary event. But also, under Mr. Ambarish Dasgupta's leadership, we are part of the General Committee of Bengal Club. So I'd like to just mention that the English language is, which is the common currency in many of these books. There is, for all his sins, Lord Macaulay had a lot of role to play, and this was his house. And some spirit of his would be seeing for the next few days. So no pressure, but you will be judged. And Bengal Club has a phenomenal library. For those of you who are members, you must have used it. But there are many books that I haven't seen anywhere else. Maybe there is no second copy of some of those books. This club was founded in 1827. So it spent 2/3 of its life under British rule, and 1/3 of its life now in independent India. So it's had a very great mix. So thank you for all of you. It's great to attend events digitally, but it's always good to see, friendly, familiar faces, and good wishes, and thank you to the organizers. Look forward to a great show.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chatterjee. And I can personally vouch for the wonderful collection in the Bengal Club Library. I think it's one of the most fascinating libraries we have. And I was thinking that the NDLI would probably benefit very, beautifully
They've already
from.
signed up.
Oh, they have.
They've already
Okay,
signed
there
up,
you go.
so
There you go.
This is also in a fair in which others are allowed.
It's an open marriage, you
It's
mean.
an open marriage. So
Right. Okay, that brings us to the end of this first session, which is the inauguration. And I really thank everybody who's joined us today, really indicated this breadth and span and quality of what we're trying to achieve here. Thank you very, very much. We'll move on directly to the next event since we are running a little bit late. This is the launch of a book, a fascinating book called Every